I've come to ask you tonight if you would like to be a part. Indeed, I've come to challenge you to be a part of a world-changing movement, because every person in this room tonight can be a part of a movement that will literally help change the world.
So we spent, I don't know, an hour, hour and a half, might have been 2 hours, I can't remember, but quite a little while, that I went into our spare bedroom and he went into our bedroom, and we were both on our knees, and of course we were both praying, and I began to write down exactly what I thought that would be reasonable to ask God for. And so I said that I would like 2 cars. Mine could be a Ford because that was the least expensive car at that time. And that I would like 2 to 4 children. I may have started with the children first, 2 to 4 children. And then the 2 cars. Mine could be a Ford. And then a house that would be modest enough to entertain a person from Skid Row, because we were working a lot with people on Skid Row at that time, and I wanted them to feel comfortable if they should come to our home, or would be lovely enough to entertain the President of the United States. Little was I even thinking about what that would actually mean, but it was that was my desire. And after all, I had married a successful businessman, and I had expected that probably we would be able to have a home of such a manner. And then I began to tell the Lord about, I wanted everything that we did to bring honor and glory to Him, that I would like to know that God's hand would be upon us as a couple, and there were some things about, some spiritual things that got in there. It was probably would have filled, it was listed long, so maybe 3/4 of the page. Well, we came back together, and I think he maybe asked me to share my list first. So I went through my list with him, and he didn't laugh, he didn't say anything. That's sweetheart. Anyway, he started with his list, that he desired to be a slave of Jesus, and that everything that we had would belong to God, that we would depend upon Him for everything, that we would never seek fame or fortune, that we would live on whatever He provided, and we'd never seek wealth or recognition, and that he wanted to be filled with the Spirit, constantly available for whatever God wanted, and that he just possessed our whole life, body, mind, and spirit. Well, I felt like about this high that, he was so spiritual and I was so material, and I was kind of disappointed that I would be so materialistic. But that's kind of the way our lives were lived.
So we wrote out and signed a contract. I never heard of this being done, but I'm a businessman by training, so I figured that's the best way to register our commitment. So we signed that contract that afternoon in 1951. Well, about 24 hours later, in a very sovereign act, in a way that was life-changing, God met with me and gave me a vision for the world, which we call Campus Crusade for Christ. So, had there been no contract, in my opinion, there would have been no vision. God brought us to the place where we made total, absolute, irrevocable surrender, and then He knew He could trust us, and from there on, the vision began to be implemented, and still is being implemented all over the world.
My guess is that God chose my parents simply because they were available. They were willing to be used. by God through the Holy Spirit.
I sign my life to you, giving everything I have. It's nothing much compared to what you've done. Now the vision is clear for a world that needs to hear about a loving Father and His only Son. And some will say I sacrifice, but they don't understand that to walk with you makes me the richest man. I wouldn't change a thing, I wouldn't give a moment back. I've lived beneath your grace and faithfulness. I wouldn't change a thing, for there is nothing here I lack. For I've been truly blessed. Every day I've spent with you has been my best. You've brought so many friends, humbly laying down their lives. I'm amazed by their great faith and love for you, that the whole world would know. It's the reason that we go. We walk not knowing what you'll take us through. Some will say I sacrifice, but they don't understand that to walk with you makes me the richest man. I wouldn't change a thing, I wouldn't give a moment back. I've lived beneath your grace and faithfulness. I wouldn't change a thing, for there is nothing here I lack. For I've been truly blessed. Every day I've spent with you has been my best. And I thank you for my wife. She's so precious in my eyes and yours. Even now I wouldn't want to walk a single step without her. Without her. Now the shadow is long and the race is near the end, yet the years I'll share with you have just begun. I desire to finish well, for I've always longed to hear from you the words from your own lips, my friend, well done. Some will say I sacrifice, but they don't understand that to walk with you makes me the richest man. I wouldn't change a thing, I wouldn't give a moment back. spent with you has been my best.
I was driven to my knees in the privacy of my home, and in a most sacred moment, I surrendered myself to him.